Good evening, everybody. Today is Monday, February 5. Welcome to End of Day Update. And let's start with NASDAQ MNQ. You can see I'm getting buy signal here. This is a range chart. This is 100 range chart. You can see I got a buy signal right below this white line. We fell below that. Got a buy signal. Still on a buy signal right now, this indicator. And let me zoom in, zoom out. This is 80 range chart also is in the buy signal, and you can see this is my famous chart, came very close to Greenland and then bounced. All right, even 30 minutes chart is giving you buy signal. So Nasdaq is in a buy signal right now. So let's quickly look at support and resistances for some of the major stocks and indices before we go further. And you can see MNQ right now, it's near sell zone and middle zone, which is neutral zone. We don't do anything in the neutral zone. So resistance levels for tomorrow are 17,786, 17,871, and 17,956. Buy and support levels are 17,553, 17,478, 17,393. S&P 500 is also in the neutral zone, 4985, 5004, 5022 are resistances, and buy zones are 4937, 4919, and 4900. Dow Jones is getting, actually it came to the buy zone and then it bounced, which is very good. Right now the buy levels are 38,295 and below. Resistance are 38,614 and up. And the Russell 2000 also came to the buy zone and then bounced. 1929 and below look to buy, and 1963 and up look to sell. Crude oil came to the buy zone last couple of days and then bounced today, and now in the neutral line. It can still go higher to 73.83 and up is the sell zone, and then 71.74 and below is the buy zone. CNQ is also in a buy zone right now near very major support. Although it's down 1.2 to 1%, it can still pump from here. My targets are 63.46. Right now it's near buy level 60.1 and then 59.18. These are the two buy levels. Tesla also on the right, sitting on the buy zone right now. 179.56 and below is the buy, and resistance is around 188.1 now. And it also did a gap down, so there's also a major gap around 187, so we could pump to 187 at any point. Gold also was in the buy zone, now in the neutral zone. 2019 and below look to buy, 2039 and up look to sell. Sorry. Silver is also sitting on the buy zone right now. 22.298 and below look to buy, and 22.696 and up look to sell. Natural gas near neutral zone, 2.02 and below look to buy, 2.12 and up look to sell. Dollar index is in the sell zone, which is good for gold and Bitcoin, because if dollar drops, Bitcoin and gold should pump. So right now near resistance, where it is right now 104, and then it can come to 103.92. Actually, it's at 104.37 near resistance. Bitcoin, you can see this morning update, guys. It's posted on TikTok, it's posted on YouTube. I was telling everybody that Bitcoin will come to the buy zone, and look what happened exactly. Bitcoin went to the buy zone, and I would have made you easy 2.28% profits, and it was a good trade. I'm sharing all these zones which I'm telling you with my subscribers. You can follow me, you can subscribe to YouTube channel. Link is in my profile. Subscribe, hit the like button of this video if you're watching later. But please do subscribe. You know, one trade can make you more than 2.5%. You can see easy trades, and it's worth it, guys. All right. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin is now in the neutral zone. 43,128 and up look to sell. 43 42,372 and below look to buy. Ethereum is in the sell zone right now, 2321, 2282 and below. 2280 and below is the nice buy zone. Apple resistance is 189.6 and up. 183 and below is the buy zone on Apple. Hang Seng Index, China is also pumping pre-market near sell zone now, so wait for it to come back. Toronto Stock Exchange is in the buy zone. This gap I'll check later on. We'll do gap analysis if this gap is filled or not. Commodities, copper in the buy zone, soya beans in the neutral zone, sugar coming closer to buy zone, wheat coming closer to neutral zone, corn also right now in the neutral zone. Let's see, gold miners, GDX is in the buy zone. This is where you want to be buying. And Newmont Mine, biggest gold miner, is also in the buy zone right now. Netflix is in the neutral zone. Okay, 553 and below look to buy. Amazon near sell zone. Meta, Facebook near neutral zone. Microsoft near neutral zone. Google near neutral zone. Snowflakes near sell zones. Nvidia near sell zone. AVGO sell zone. AMD in the neutral zone. Intel neutral zone, and Shopify also neutral zone. All right. So now we're done with that. I showed you level of all major stocks in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's quickly now do like a daily analysis. So for that, I'm going to open a different chart here, and let's quickly look at any gaps, and then we'll do other analysis. Okay. Let's start with Bitcoin because many of you guys come here for Bitcoin. So let's review it first. So BTC futures, this is BTC futures. There was a gap, and I said this gap is there. I released a video on TikTok, and that gap is filled. Okay, so that gap is done. And Ethereum also, that gap is filled. All right, so no gaps on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's go to daily chart. No gaps to the top, but there are many gaps to the bottom. This could be low. This is if this breaks, this could be a flag. It's possible this could be a flag, but if this breaks, all these gaps are to the downside, and also there's also a gap to the upside 53. I don't know which one we fill first, but all these gaps should fill 90% of the time. So from where we are right now, Bitcoin can go, it's possible 24% to fill this gap at 53,440, or it can go all the way down to 52% to fill this gap, most of these gaps, and last gap is around 2115. All right. Um, Now PPO, let's zoom in. Actually, let's look at live market for PPO. That's a bit better. Let's zoom in. PPO green line is above red line, which is very good news for the bulls. RSI also uh, looks like we're getting this green dot, which is a buy signal. So looks okay so far. This could be a flag. This could be inverse head and shoulder. Let's see what it is. If it breaks out, then the measured move. Uh, Oops, not this one. I want to get right indicator. The measured move could be from here to here. Okay, and you can move it here. Let me delete this. And it can go to previous highs. Okay, around 48,000. So that's quite possible if it's a breakout. The only thing is I don't see divergences. I want to see something like here, like price going lower, PPO going higher, RSI going higher. I haven't seen that, so I think I'm expecting a new low before Bitcoin get bounce. All right. Ethereum, same thing here. Looking a bit weak. So I really want to see divergence. I want to see a new low. And on Ethereum, the levels are, let's quickly go look at Ethereum. Here, the levels are all the way to 1849. So if Bitcoin dumps, this could dump lower. Oh, actually, Ethereum has even have high levels which are not filled. These gaps are not filled. So I think it's possible Ethereum is going to go fill these gaps first before going lower. So from here, the top gap is around 7%. And then if it dumps from here, bottom gap is around 20%. All right, you make your decision, but I think it's looking dangerous here to go into Ethereum, in my opinion. And this is live market, same thing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to switch to now traditional market. Let's quickly do a gap analysis. Oh, let's wrap up VIX. VIX is still making higher highs, higher lows. So even if it goes all the way to this trend line, there's still going to be a higher low. Okay, so keep that in mind. So Bitcoin can, VIX can still go lower, find support and then bounce. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's see if there's any. You can see it's gap up, came back, and then gave all the gap out, down. All the gap filled it. So S&P 500 was down in the morning, then pumped in the evening, and VIX is opposite of that. Okay, VIX is a fear index, so that is expected. Let's quickly scan. I did do gap analysis on other stocks. Let's quickly see if I missed anything. Let me go to regular trading hours, and that's where we are. You can see, oh, this gap is filled. You can see we gap down, and then we fill this gap. So I'm going to delete this. So no gaps are there now. On SPY, Dow Jones, gap is still there. We gap down. That gap is still not filled. IWM, that gap is not filled. Triple Qs. Let me find where triple Q here. There is no gap. Okay, down there gaps to the downside. Let's quickly scan some major stocks and then we'll do daily analysis. Apple is no gaps here. Tesla again gap down, another gap created here. So these gaps gonna be filled 90% of the time, so don't get too bearish yet. So just want to let you guys know, CNQ just going straight down. Let's see what else is here. Let's check gold miners. Newmont Mine, gap down, GDX, gap down, another couple of gaps. It's possible it can fill 27.14 as soon as tomorrow. Netflix, no gaps. Amazon, still gap is down, gap down. Meta, no gaps on Microsoft. Massive gap on Google. Snowflakes, no gap today. Nvidia gap up. AVGO gap up. AMD fill this gap. So we can delete this too. All right. So let's go to daily chart. Let's start with SPY. Go SPY daily chart. There you go. So you can see SPY is still rising on a bearish rising wedge, something like this. So it is quite possible if it breaks the wedge, then that means a correction can happen, and then that correction could still be from here around 5%. And that I think can be possible from now until April. Next couple of months, just be careful. Right now we're just bouncing up and down on this wedge. Now, one thing to note, you can see we have divergence here on this PPO indicator. Let me get rid of this indicator because it's not that clean. Let me add, you know what? No, let me add that again, and then let me. What I'm gonna do is up, and let me do default settings here. Reset settings. All right, there you go. This is a bit cleaner, I think. All right. Yeah. So you can see lower highs on RSI, PPO also lower high, bearish charging wedge. So if it breaks down, then you can see all these. Actually, I'm going to delete these green lines. A bit confusing for you. You can see all these green lines, dotted lines are gaps to the fill, and those it will find support in one of those lines. Okay. If I add these moving averages, still very bullish above all moving average, very nice pull trend. So it's not going to break so easily. Okay. Any dips are dips to buy in this bull market. Let's go to triple Qs. Same thing here, above all moving averages price. All these green lines, white lines, yellow lines, blue lines above all moving average. Again, divergence on RSI, on PPO, same thing here. What divergence means is price is going higher, but PPO is going lower. All right. You can see here also divergence. So momentum is going lower, but price is going higher. So just be a bit careful, but there's a lot of support down here. It will find support on one of these green lines. So we'll see when that dump comes. So this is not where I'm looking to buy these. I will be looking to buy like stocks like gold miners and oil. I'm not interested in these stocks which are already near all-time high. IWM, sorry, DIA facing some resistance. Let's see if it can fill this gap around 386. Um, it went higher, coming lower. Let's see if it can pump and fill this gap. It's possible it can pump from here, fill this gap, and then come down. Okay. I think some other industrial stocks are showing earnings today, so we'll see this week. Sorry, and we'll see how it goes. IWM holding support barely on this yellow line, which is 50 EMA. Could be a bullish hammer, and then I think we're getting ready for a pump. So I'm bullish on small caps. All right, so let's look at crude oil. Uh, nice reversal today. Okay, now it's facing resistance on this red line, which is 50 daily SMA. If it breaks above that, that's going to be a nice pump from here. So if it can break, it can easily go 7-8% higher. I don't know what news will be, but it's still on a nice trend line. Like if I draw a trend line on crude oil, see very nice trend line here. All right, higher highs, higher lows. So still everything looking okay. If it can bounce, it's going to be very, very nice. And also, I think green line is, you can see below red line. You want to see green line above red line to be bullish again, but this could be forming a base here. CNQ also near nice support here. This came here around October 2023 where it bottomed, and It's it's in this chop range since like freaking 2022 March, just chopping around massive range here. So whenever it breaks out, it's gonna be a big one. But right now, looking for this gap 66.92. I don't know when that will happen. Need some bullish news on oil to take it there. Tesla, this could be a bullish hammer. Let me turn volume and see. Can I add volume here? Volume. Let's see how big was the volume. A little bit higher than this low here. So just wanted to see that and let me hide it. I don't need it. Okay, so bullish hammer. If it is a bullish hammer, you can see last time when we got this here, bullish hammer. Zoom in, bullish hammer bounce. Uh, Not here. This was an indecision candle. Nothing here. Uh, Nothing here. Here was bullish hammer bounce. Here was bullish hammer bounce. So you can see bullish hammer a lot of time works. All these gaps are to the top side, and also this green line is 10 moving average. Really needs to close above that. If it does not, then it's going to be less. Actually, I want to make it a 10 EMA. I want to make it a 10 EMA green line, so let's make it EMA. All right, so you can see it's facing resistance on this green line. Since this stump started, it closed below this here on this day, 28th of December. And since then, it's been just down 28% almost. When was the last time you can see went below green line, wait for it to close above that to be bullish, went below green line, even this massive dump here, I think when it went to closer to 100 bucks was always, oops, always it was below green line. Okay, you can see. So you have to really wait for it to close above green line to be bullish again. Okay, so let's wait for that. Still did not close above that. The day it closes above green line, that looks like could be a nice reversal from here. And just remember, it can pump from here to fill these gaps 35, 36%. So you can buy here and just hold, guys. Also, there's divergence happening on RSI. New low with RSI making higher lows, so momentum is building higher. Gold also holding nice, just chop around here, still making higher highs, higher lows. Like you can draw a trend line, something like this, high highs, highs, higher lows. As long as it's above this trend line, all is good. Silver, see, I'm going to delete this other trend line. Okay, it's on this nice trend line here. Coming back to back test this. Okay, so could go a little bit lower tomorrow from here. 0.1, 0.4% lower. That will be a good area to buy, and then it can bounce from there. Natural gas, zoom in, looking for this gap to fill around 2.189 before it goes lower mid of Feb. So I'm looking for a new low with some divergence, and that will be a good area to buy. Dollar, nice move breaking out. Nice breakout. You can see inverse head and shoulder. Finally, it just consolidated here, now breaking out. Dollar looking very bullish above all moving averages, which is not a good news for bulls. Now it can go down, find support, and then go higher. But if it keeps going higher, then that means gold and Bitcoin need to calm down. It's quite possible. Bitcoin already told you, looking for lower prices from here, especially there are gaps on BTC here. All these green lines are the gaps to fill. Ethereum also, all these, it can go higher first, fill these gaps, and then come down. That's quite possible as well. What else is here? Let's quickly scan. Toronto Stock Exchange. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let me hide this moving average for a bit. So this gap is filled. Did it gap down? Did gap down. There you go. So one gap filled, one gap left. So all gaps to get filled. So very bearish move today, but it can go any day to fill that gap. Hang Seng Index trying to be bullish below all these lines here. So as long as it's below this white line, I'm not trying to buy. I'll wait for it to break out. Apple, nice reversal candle. Again, bullish Thor. And let's see, it's facing resistance. It closed below that. It went higher, but it closed below all moving averages. except 200 SMA. So let's see if it wants to come back down to find support or if it try to break out again. We'll see. From here to new all-time high for Apple is almost 6%. So 6% potential for taking profit. Up to you if you want to take this trade. Copper by the dip. Uh, can we draw any trend line here? Maybe something like this. Can draw a trend line like this. Okay. Soybeans, new lows, high divergence on PP and RSI. Wait for it to close above this white line, which is 20 moving average. Sugar making a flag, ready for a breakout. Wheat consolidating for a while. You just gotta be patient on wheat, guys. You have to wait for it to close below above this blue line, which is 200 SMA. As soon as it closes above that, that's gonna be a bullish move. Corn also testing patience, just consolidating below white line, which is 20 moving average. The day it closes above, it's going to be very bullish move. Gold miners, looks like it wants to come fill this gap around 27.14. That's the next target, but also there are a lot of upper targets possible here. So it can still go around 11% higher. That's quite possible. Netflix, divergence. Green line is about to cross red line. So with all these gaps, not interested here. Amazon also massive gap down, but I'm not interested in these tech stocks. They're too high for me. Meta is also higher. Microsoft is higher. Uh, Google is not bad. Google is still holding this trend line, this white trend line. If I hide this, you can see very nicely here. So it's nicely holding this trend line. So Google is one of the other stocks which I think is a good potential. So from here, almost 5.42 upside. Snowflake's massive gaps up. Uh, I'm not interested in this. Nvidia also, it's like a rocket. Not interested in this. I don't even want to talk about this. AVGO showing some divergence, so just be a bit careful. And then AMD also looking nice. Gaps are filled, but remember there are multiple gaps or downside. So usually March and April month are a bit bearish. So let's see how stock market does. Okay. So that's it for today. Let's see if anybody's on YouTube.